Are you overwhelmed with running your business? Today we're talking about how coaching can help you rebalance your business on this episode of Coffee with Tea. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Tea. I am your host, Tonia Tyler, and I'm excited because we're going to be talking about rebalancing your business. And I have the wonderful guest on, Mr. Don Vierboom, who will explain to us that there's nothing wrong with having a coach. So, without me going too much into who he is, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. So, welcome, Mr. Don. It's a pleasure to have you here on the call.
Oh, pleasure's all mine, Tonia.
Well, thank you. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I'm looking forward to it, this conversation, because like I said, there's I think some stigmatism about coaching maybe. So we're going to dive into a little bit more, but really I want to ask more about who you are, tell us a bit about who you are, and how has this whole COVID reopening really been helping or hurting, you? How have you changed your perspective with this? So the floor is yours there, sir.
All right. Well, I've been, I started off as an entrepreneur. I had a kind of my own kind of electronics store for about 10 years, but then I got into business and I worked for big companies like Sony and Corporate Express, Staples, and some other things. And so I was always in the corporate world for the longest time. At one point, I was looking after all of Canada for office furniture for Corporate Express. And then other parts of the time I was at a vice president of retail for a company called Expo Crete, which is owned by Old Castle, another huge company. So I've always been kind of this executive level thing learning. And then COVID hit and really smacked I was in the window and door business on my most recent corporate job, and it smacked them hard. And there was no new housing going up, and oil and gas in our area pricing was down. So all of a sudden, I was on the street. I got let go. So I was kind of this casualty of COVID, wondering like, well, what do I do? I was thinking I was going to retire where I was, and I think work another 7 years and be happy and right off in the sunset. But all of a sudden, boom, COVID tells you, here's a different story. You're on your street thinking of what am I going to do? And I'm wondering what I'm going to do. And one of my friends had a business, flooring business, said, come and help me full time for a while. I need some help with people and processes and tools. And, I just started dived into helping their business. And she told me, she says, Don, why aren't you doing this full time? Figure out how to become a great coach and, have all this experience, 35 years of being, working in the executive world and your own business. Teach people the shortcuts, how to get going. So I said, I will do that, but I need a training program or partnership. And so I looked all around at the different coaching packages, and I ended up with one called Coach's Coach, which I spent a year with. They give me 2 coaches. I meet with them every week, for 90 minutes, plus a few other salespeople or coaches with me. And we went through a whole program, lots of videos and training and all that. And, I really believe that cemented my business. And I think it's just a general formula for many entrepreneurs that have to pivot right now.
Right. So what I'm hearing, you didn't let the misfortune of losing a job stop you, right? So is that, for those who are experiencing maybe some of the similar things that are dealing with, what would be maybe an advice you would say to them right now if they're like lost between, I don't know where to go? What would maybe you give them as an advice?
Yeah. One thing is, just make a list of the things you really enjoy and that maybe you've got some expertise in. Maybe you're great at baking. Maybe you're great at mechanics. Maybe you're great at welding. Whatever your expertise is that you still like and want to do, then think of what are the options for being a business in this area. And then the other advice, which I took myself, was find a system to make a business out of that. Not just try to figure it all out yourself. You need some coaching or franchising or something that will help you move you forward so much faster so you don't have to crank out all these problems and struggle. So find a system, find what you love, and see if there's a kind of a marriage in that, you can afford to do it.
Right. I like that. And let's dive a little more into the coaching thing, because, there's some people who, never really ventured into coaching. So what's some of the things, or were you always a believer in the coaching, or did you just study this when you started making that transition? I guess I want to start there
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. No, I got my own coach or my mentor that was hired by my company when I was with Corporate Express. And, I was at this transition period studying, how do I grow? I was vice president of this one of Alberta. And I'll say, how do I grow and develop? And they said, maybe we'll hire you a mentor or business coach. I go, whoa, how does that work? He said, well, you just go find one on the internet you like and relate. We'll see what they cost, and we'll hire you. And so I met with a lady out of Detroit. We just connected. You talk to a few different coaches, and if there's a connection there, you go, yeah, I think I can really learn from this person. And so I got hooked up with Deborah, and she stayed with me for about 3 years. Every week we talk for an hour, and we just work through problems and challenges and how are you going to grow in your business? What's your next step? And, she really helped me, get back into education. I went back to school and got my MBA on the weekends. And then I got a promotion to go to head office, and I worked a national program there. So it was really helped my own personal career. So I was sold on coaching at an early stage.
Well, that's good. I like coach. I've had a couple of coaches in my life. I had a sales coach when I struggled.
Yeah.
I think I probably had a relationship coach a couple times too. So,
Yeah.
there's people out there for everything. So what's one of the I guess, criteria that you look for when you were looking for a coach, maybe for you or something like I said, we're going to dive more into your business, but for those who are, like I said, still not really familiar about coaching, how can that really help them? What's something that they should be looking for?
I think everyone has to look for a certain level of experience in their field. There's no special thing you have to do to call yourself a coach. So everybody can be calling themselves coaches. So I always I'll explain your background. Do you have any qualifications as far as, experience and training but it doesn't have to be in the industry. If you want to, open up a bakery shop, I don't have to be a coach that comes from bakery shops. That's pretty handy if I did, but it doesn't have to be. It's more about the fit and how do we interact with each other? Am I going to be coachable by Dawn or this other person? Or am I going to be able to listen and, take their stuff seriously? Because maybe I have some respect for where they've been, what they've done in life, the bumps and the things that they've gone through. I can relate to that, so it's connecting with the right person that fits for you.
I like that. Thank you. I want to remind everybody that what you're picking up right now, Mr. Don has been dropping some gems. So if you picked them up, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know. Maybe follow up with a comment down below. So we're going to go diving into I like this thing that there's nothing like having a coach and you're rebalancing your business. So what does rebalancing your business mean? What can you explain to me what that concept looks like from your experience?
Yeah. For what I see when I talk to a lot of businesses, I love connecting on LinkedIn and just having a conversation with people. It's not all about, I need to make you a customer of mine. I can only handle a certain amount of customers or clients. So, the experience I get of talking to them is great. And I hear this so often about people that started off as this technician, that we call it. And if you read the E-Myth by Micheal Gerber, it talks about the technician is like you're the welder and you opened a welding, or you're a plumber and you open a plumbing business. So you're a technician, you're in there doing all the work. But after a while, you have to hire 4 more plumbers, you get trucking, you got HR issues, you got, finance issues, and, you got to stop being the plumber and become the manager, and then maybe an entrepreneur down the road. You have to keep moving up on that. And so many people don't do that. So they're out of balance. They're still plowing all their time back in being the plumber. And then they're trying to figure out HR, which they've never done. And they're trying to do, cash flow and the books or marketing and SEO and Google AdWords or all this stuff. They're just overwhelmed. So they're way out of whack. They're putting in 60, 70 hours a week. And, they're probably net dollars to them, making way less than any of their own employees.
Right. So I'm as I was listening to you, I read the E-Myth Revisited too, and it took me a while. I had to read it twice for me to actually understand it. So it's like for those who are like I said, I hear a lot of people want to jump into a business, but they're in that mindset of the technician. So it's
Yeah.
like you can have a coach for there, right?
Mhm.
So, how do you know? I guess you say you can have a coach. You don't have to stay with one coach the entire time, right? It's what I'm trying to say.
No,
It's like,
no. Like you said, Tonia, is there are some people who call themselves life coaches, which is just about getting your life organized, maybe your head in the right positive mental attitude and being mindful, maybe doing some meditation. Those are things that maybe life does. A business coach like myself is really about that. I'm the kind of technician to help you figure out all these aspects of your business. What are we going to do about marketing? What are we going to do about HR? How are we going to hire the right people? Create a good team? How are we going to do time management so you get your time back, so you actually see your family? Like you got in this business to have time freedom and you have none left, right? You're just packed with hours, so it's not working. So a coach at this point is trying to help you rebalance and figure that out. Say, yeah, I got to move out of my business at the sort of technician level and move up higher. So I'm watching and I'm working on my business. I'm moving the parts and whatever. And that's where a coach can help you, talk to you every week and help you make good decisions, keep you on track, make sure you got a plan. So it's like, let's re-level this thing and make sure we're going where we thought of when we first had this wonderful epiphany. I'm going to be my own business owner. And now it just veered off into some nasty territory.
right. We got a few more minutes, and I have one question before we dive into a little bit more about what you're working on and stuff like that. So my question really comes down to, I should have wrote it down, but it was really oh my goodness, I had it on the tip of my tongue. Well, we'll have to come back because
Yeah, sure.
I know when you're talking, it'll come back. But my question is really what are some of the projects that you're working on? I know what it was. I'm sorry, Miss Audience. What's the difference with working in your business versus working on your business? I know he talks
Sure.
about in the email that you brought it up. So please, can you dispel what's different between working in your business and on your business?
Sure. Yeah. And then you hear lots of people talk about that, but they don't always understand it. So working in your business, let's go back to say the plumbing or the baker or whatever, you're working in it. You're actually using the tools. You're doing your stuff. You got your head down. You're putting in 67 hours a week. You're doing all the stuff. Maybe you're doing your books and things. On the business is sitting back and thinking, where do I want to go? How am I going to get there? Do I need some help to, get there? Where's my next piece of business coming? Where are my clients going to come from? Like on it, as far as a holistic part about how to make it function better, where's it going in the future? Do I have a strategic plan for 90 days, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? How am I going to exit the business? How at the end, what happens? Am I, passing it to my kids, or how are they going to buy it? It's like, those are the things you talk about to yourself and with your coaches or your mentors, when you want to work on the business. And you have to book some time to do that, because otherwise you're just, your head down, you're doing all the things, say, I'm so busy, I'm working so hard. You are, but your business is going to start veering off of the road. It's like you forgot to watch the lane departure and you're starting to go off, but you're so focused, you forget where you are.
Thank you. I am so sorry for I'm like, I'm focused on what you're sharing. I was like, I had a golden gem and I had to ask, but thank you for taking that time to explain the difference. And now this is where I want to know, like, what's the one message you want people to take away from what you're sharing today? That if they don't hear anything else, what's the one thing that you want them to take away from your interview today?
I'd like them to take away that it's not weakness on your part to go and ask and get people for help. Just as in many other parts, we have a big promotion or talk about things about mental health. It's not, a detriment to you to talk about mental health, that you need some help. There's so much anxiety. Well, the same in business. It's not bad to be able to say, hey, I need some help. I'm not the expert on SEO marketing and Google AdWords and, maybe selecting the right people. I never put a good job description together. All these different things. It's okay to say I'm not the expert in that. It's not saying you're not smart or you're not, very intelligent and great at your field, but you don't know everything about everything. So you go out and you get help. It's just like, People are quite accustomed to getting a bookkeeper because they don't want to do their QuickBooks themselves, or they get an accountant because they don't want to do all the tax. You want to make sure that's all done right, or you get a lawyer to fill out your forms. Well, you get a coach as well to help you with your business. And maybe you have a particular area, like you were saying, maybe it's just sales I really need help with, or hiring, or whatever. But a good business coach can work on all those different areas for you, and say, okay, right now, what's the hot spot for you? It's sales. Okay, we got to get some sales going, because if that doesn't happen, getting some income, you're going to be in trouble. And then maybe next time is cash flow. So let's work on your cash flow, because you got good sales, but you're not bringing in the money fast enough. Let's talk about that, and weekly and other. So I know I say coaching can really change your business, and don't view it as an expense. A good business coach should be driving volume into your business by making better decisions with you. So it should, over say 4 to 6 months, create more profit through either better cash management or sales revenue, finding new areas to go and market, or just better business management. It should happen. So don't look at it like an expense. It looks like a bit of fun. So that's my
I like
word.
that. I like it. I love it. Thank you, Mr. Vierboom, for all the insight that you share. And now this is really want to know, like, what have you been working on, and where can people find more information about you, your services, and what you offer?
Yeah, and my website's a good spot to go to. Dawn at 4Tree Coaching, FOUR Tree Coaching. 4Tree is my last name. Vierboom is Dutch descent, so you just change it. Vierboom is 4Tree. That's how it turned out. So remember 4Tree, and you can go see there. Yeah, we talk. Basically, we just chat for half hour, an hour. Let's just have a little strategy session and see if there's, again, that connection that we want. And is there something I can help you with? I'm sure I can offer you some free advice. You can just say, hey, that's good, I'll take that and run, and away you go. And if you want to talk further, we'll set another meeting. So I'm working on one-on-ones. I also have some group coaching, where you just want to work with 7 or 8 sessions with maybe 4 or 5 people. It's a little cheaper. And in a couple of weeks, I'll have 30 online courses, 10 management, 10 leadership. And you can take these 2-hour courses and, just help kind of tune up your own education. And if you take a bundle, we can put my coaching in it. So it's kind of, online and live at the same time. So good, better, best, I think.
Awesome. Congratulations on everything that you have going on.
Well, thank you. It's a lot of fun. I really get a kick out of, learning about business. I'm very curious about how it works, and how are you successful, and what do you need to work on? And, I just love helping others if I can.
Well, thank you, Mr. Vierboom. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks so much, Tonia.
I want to also remind everybody who tuned in that feedback is always welcome. Links that Mr. Vierboom mentioned will be posted down in the description box. So please make sure you check it out there down below. And if you've enjoyed what he shared today and you're enjoying it, please remember, hit that like button. If you want to continue to get everything that, like Mr. Dom has shared today, all the insights and everything he shared today, please hit that subscribe button over there. And remember, take things in stride, go with the flow, and create your own path. And we will see you back here on another episode of Coffee with Tea. All right. Bye-bye.